climb uphill, but we know we're not alone, so we try and see. We cross the finish line. See now where I sing. Be strong, never stop moving your feet. No make no negativity, make you retreat. Said only you can stop your
Right, so with us today, thank you for holding, and you're locked into the Black Rose of Durham radio show. With me is Mr. Rem Marley from the United Kingdom, England. Mr. Rem Marley, thank you so much for joining me on the Black Rose of Durham radio show in Canada, Ontario, Clinton, little town by the name of Bowmanville. How is your Wednesday today, my friend?
Wednesday, well, it's Tuesday today for me.
Is it a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Is it Tuesday? Is it Tuesday in the UK right now?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay. What time is it? What time is it in the UK now?
What, 10 o'clock now?
10 o'clock. Okay, 10 o'clock Tuesday. All right. So in Canada, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, so it's about 5:11. So I'm so glad.
Wednesday. Wednesday.
Yeah,
and everything. Sometimes I relax so winning and the time just fly past.
Yeah, so I'm going to turn this music off because I want to hear your story about how the topic today is we are talking about, and let me just turn this off, talking about how people are overcoming in these tough times. So just now we had the beautiful Maureen McFarland from Cloud Records out of Philadelphia, the USA. Now we have Mr. Rem Marley. Just before you share your story, Rem, I want the people to know who you are and what you do. So if you want to take like about, let's say, 3 minutes to talk about who you are. I believe last week you are one of UK's top reggae promoters, right? And so you are in the UK sharing good vibes. You have a Facebook page called the Reggae. It's a Reggae Link Up, and you interview top reggae artists worldwide on your page. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, should we come out there, reggae family and everything? We know a lot of reggae artists. And in the time of COVID, before the time of COVID, I was bringing artists to Newcastle. That's in England, but out of London, on the outskirts, a place called Newcastle, where, not a lot of reggae vibes down here. So a lot of people like reggae. They have to travel too far to see an artist. So I decided to move up here and bring the artists to them. Now, because of COVID, it got locked down. No movement, no clubs, no nothing. So I decided to just do a little blogging by interviewing artists from all over the world on my Facebook Live. And if you go on the Rem Marley Reggae Link Up promoter page, you will see all the artists that I interviewed from Jamaica, Nigeria, Gambia, Italy, Peru, Jamaica, Canada. So, just give them a little platform to get them out.
I so appreciate that you do that, because you know what, especially in COVID, artists are the ones that are being the most, not being able to perform and do the things that they were able to do. It's great to have platforms where people can know what new upcoming artists are out there. So I want to thank you and big up to you for what you're doing in the UK and worldwide. And you certainly have my support in the Black Rose of Durham radio. And I would love to send some of the artists from Canada that, are doing great things here to you for you to interview, and vice versa. You can send them to me and we support one another. And I'd also want you to send me a drop so that I can get you on my show. Like I can plug in what you're doing so that people will know. So I want to know your story. What is your story about overcoming hard times? What has Rem been doing?
You see, a lot of people never hear about me for a long time. So, because I was more kind of laid back and underground, is more like humble. I don't like the spotlight. I like genuine people around me. I don't like, because who I am. People come around you and everything. I like the genuine place. So my life, I used to travel Miami, New York, Canada, everything, till I came to London. Then I was, going on a holiday in Cuba. 'Cause I never been to Cuba before, and I went to Cuba, and with some friends. I met some friends over there. I went with a girl, and met some friends over there, and I got busted in this thing, Operation.
What?
Which
Rewind that. You got what? In Cuba?
Yeah, yeah, in Cuba, Fidel Castro country, and I got busted in by a guilt by association, and I think that would just be over and done with because these people said they didn't know me, I didn't know them. I knew one person from London, so that was it. So and all of us got locked up. Four of us got locked up.
Oh my gosh.
Some more guys. The case was just building up, and these guys say they don't know me and things like that. So, I ended up. Was put in a cell 5 feet by 11. So
in Cuba. In Cuba. Not even in.
Yes.
Oh God.
In Cuba. So you get locked up. So you don't go court till after 2 years. So you stay in a cell by yourself. 5 feet by 11. You get a bread in the morning. Is a hard piece of bread with sugar and water, and there's a hole in the ground for your toilet. You sleep on a piece of slab, and I was there for 2 years. Now,
hold on a second. I usually don't. A good interviewer doesn't interrupt people, but how in the world? But I'm just like overwhelmed hearing this. How in the world did it feel getting busted for something you didn't do? You just wanted to link up with some friends, go on a vacation. You don't realize that those friends are into bad things. So now all of a sudden you're in a drama because of bad people, and you're in jail in Cuba because of. How are you feeling?
I just think that things do happen, so it's just gonna be a blow up and back to reality. So it's just a nightmare you're going through, and you laugh. Because I'm a man who always smile, laugh. So I said, you know what? It's just a laughing period, so let me just blow it off and get back to reality. But there was no reality. Because I spent 5 years in Cuba, but the first 2 years I spent in solidarity confinement where they used to execute prisoners. Now you was on that block by. Now you was on that block by. Now you was on that block by. into the prison, there was a lot of prisoners in there, from different nationalities. So I said, well, he can speak Spanish. And say yes. When I said, well, let him teach the other guy English. The Spanish man must teach the Englishman Spanish, and the Englishman must teach him English. So we built a school on the compound. So the Spanish man is teaching the Englishman about Spanish, and the Englishman, so communication. Now this one can make sew shoes and clothes. Make a little spot for him to, a lot of people not getting no visit. Make him sew shoes on. This one can cut ear. Let this one learn to cut ear. Now, they didn't want you to pray. They didn't want you to pray our Bible. Why? It's because they see Castro as their God.
Oh my gosh! This is the creepiest. Yeah. This is like out of a movie. So they didn't. Oh wow! So you being somebody who believes in God, how did you pray inside your head, or how did you manage that?
Yeah, you gotta pray inside. But I told them. I sat down and I told the general for the prison. I said, well, Castro is your God, and we accept that because we're in your country. But for these people, they grow up on faith. They grow up from a Christian family. No, it's no harm in for them to believe in their faith. And only when they believe in their faith, they have calmness and tranquility, and there will be no more fighting in the prison. And he said, okay. And they start build the church. So every Sunday, they who want to go to the church and prayers and things like that, they want to form a group. Then we said, all right, we have magicians in here. We have people that can sing and they write song and things like that. Every month, let's keep the event. That's what they done. Every month, they keep a little outside gig where people is doing magic, magicians, people are doing songs, people are doing, and there was no more fighting. The fighting kind of went right down until the Ministry of Interior, that was the general, the biggest general, came down and said, and they introduced me to the general, and he was glad that I changed the prison from a fighting, because everybody was fighting, because they was upset. They couldn't communicate properly with no one. They were stressed. It was 24 hours, 23 hours lockdown. So people was in this boiling detention camp. Every 5 o'clock in the morning, you hear the bell, bing, 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 and you gotta stand beside your bed so they can do count. They call it recuento. So they can count you to see if anybody escape and things like that. And if you don't get up, you're going to the punishment cell. That's the 49, which nobody don't want to go. I used to go there. I used to give myself problems sometimes to go around there. Why? To have a peace for myself. Now in life, you see, if you can't live by yourself, you're not going to be able to live with no one. You got to prepare yourself to understand others. Now, when the embassy came to see me, they said when I go back to England, I mustn't go in prison, and I must just go free and everything. And when was the time for me to go? I spent 5 years in Cuba, and I learned a lot, and I can tell you a lot. And I can tell you some stories that people won't even believe.
I am floored, Ram. I'm floored. You know why I am floored with your story? This is one of the most inspiring stories I've ever heard, and I'll tell you why. Because the 2 years in solitary confinement, you didn't know that God was allowing that to prepare you. Do you realize that God had called? Oh, I'm getting goosebumps on the back of my. Do you realize that it was God Himself that allowed that?
My eyes are full of water, and I'm going to show you that God is real, and it's all about the power of the mind. I'm going to show you, and I hope everybody listen to this. when sometimes when I was in the dormitory, there was still noise, you know, I love my peace. And I used to give trouble just to go around to the 49. That's where the confinement is, where you stay by yourself. You sleep on concrete, but it's nice. And there was only a passage light. And sometimes I used to look at that light, and one time I remember looking at that light and I say, you know what, God, I just want to see pure darkness where I can hold a meditation and be so close to you. And when I finished saying that, I hear bow and the light was in the passage, and I smiled to myself and I lay down. And from that day, from 98, I believe that the power lies in the mind. The mind is so powerful that if you tell yourself, say you're gonna live, you're gonna live. And if you tell yourself, say, I can't go no more, you're gonna win. That's why they said, as faith as small as a mustard seed. Now, when I was going back to England, this guy, the soldier, called me. And when he called me, my friends in the prison said, Rem, don't talk to him. He's the one that put you in confinement all this time. And I said, yeah, I can't talk to him. He said, no, just remember where I said, yeah, I remember where I'm coming from. I'm going, but he's staying. And when I
I'm getting goosebumps. Listen, God, I'm getting goosebumps. So hold on a second. I don't want you to lose your train of thought. So the guy who, look at this. Look at how blessed you are. Horrible, horrific situation, but God used you as a blessing, as a minister to the people in Cuba, in jail.
Yes, of course.
Oh my God, took a situation that should have taken somebody out, and instead of you being bitter or angry or hostile about the guy that set you up, you said to yourself, I'm going, but he's staying. Wow.
He's staying. And when I listen to this, when I shook his hand, he break down and cried. He break down and cried like a baby. I'm crying right now because I feel good when I can share my story to someone and they feel what I feel, because I feel joy, and there's nothing in this world that can stop me. I don't have no fear of nothing, of living, of dying, or what. My focus is on living and sharing with people happiness, and sharing and telling people that everything is in the mind. If the energy is good, then you're going to bring that good energy. If the energy is bad, that's what you're going to attract. Now listen to this. When I came to England, the government was supposed to let me go. And the government said, no, we're going to hold him more. And they held me more. Another 4 years. Listen to this. And when I was working in the prison as a Samaritan, I was working in the prison as a head guy that do housing. When I came out of prison, the 3 months when I came out, I was working back in prison, and the government was paying me $28,000 to educate prisoners.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, man, you know, I just feel like I'm having church right now, Rem, because I'm like, wow, you're a general. So
let me tell you, when I came out of prison, 3 months when I came out of prison, the government was paying me $28,000 to mentor guys in prison. Listen to this. All the knife crime, they had to come to me when they come out of prison. All the gun crimes and the guys them coming out on gun who get you got, they have to come to me. Then I start to work with drugs, alcohol, mental health. I start working mental health hospital, all on probation. I still was on probation, and they was paying me to go around in England to go to different prisons and go and see hard-to-reach criminals who won't change, and I was changing them with this story.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I just feel like, listen. You know,
Yeah.
this is why it's so important. I got to share something with you, and all of you will have to wait until, you know, there's about 3 or 4 people who want to get on and talk. You're gonna have to wait until, because right at 6 o'clock I'm on in TOG Network in New York, and man, I just kind of, you know, I'm recording this and I will send this to you and share it, because this is one of the most inspiring stories I've ever heard, and I hope that you write a book. Really do. What I find
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, a lot of people was asking me to write a book. This TV, banged up abroad, contacted me and said, "Listen, we know about your story. Cuban government wrote such a report about me. That's why England government used me as a vessel to help prisoners in here, because the Cubans said, this is one prisoner I see come and he smiled the whole way through. He wasn't bitter. Why? Because God said, don't be bitter. Learn from this. Learn, and I learned. And once that bulb blowed in the passage, when I asked, I just want to see darkness so I can hold a medic, and that bulb blow, I knew that the Father was with me. So there was no time. You see, when you go in prison, there's 2 ways you can get out. Either in a body bag or you live to win him. Now they say prison is you sent to prison to punishment. Yes, it is a place for you to punish, but don't punish yourself again.
Say that again. Say that. Say rewind, brother Ram. Oh my God.
So you see, a lot of people go and they send to prison to punish, and they punish themselves by beating up themselves again. You don't beat up yourself. Let me tell you something. I got 29 qualification in counseling, in drugs, alcohol, mental health, opium, injection. All right, listen. My last job was working with the ambulance service.
What a blessed man.
I was in the ambulance service. I was working in school. I was working with the ambulance service first, and I was picking up patients everywhere and everything. Then, when I finished the ambulance service, and that was just 2017, I stopped ambulance service and I started working schools where I was teaching young kids, 15 years old, to do CPR, because I was working with the ambulance.
No, I'm so...
2018, and my twins, I left all these times. I came back and I said, this is me now, and I'm working as a support worker. I said, do something with your life too. My twins are driving, they're paramedics now. I got twins. And let me tell you something, I was the last one in my family of 7 to have kids, and I'm not the last one. I'm not the baby. And everybody was saying, why you have so much girls, but everybody's got kids. Even your little sister have kids before you. I said, I want one woman. I want one woman with all my kids. When I did have kids, the first one was twins in America, and she was so over me that I had to leave her, and she aborted them, and I came to England and have twins. And you see, I spent 9 years in prison, and when I came out back, my kids have been growing up, and the little time when I had to spend with them, they're paramedics too.
This is one of the. This is like every black man, every white. It doesn't even matter, black, white, doesn't matter. But I got to tell you why I am so overwhelmingly blessed by this story for a number of reasons. Number one, it's your attitude while you were suffering. Like, I want to tell you, I love God, but I don't know that. This is ministering so much to me about your attitude, and everyone. It could be a physical prison, it could be emotional prison. I know for me, I said to myself, I feel like I'm living in prison. But what I love that you did is that you took this awful situation, became a leader, able to inspire so many people. And then not only that, but I'm sure your kids must be like, my dad is a superhero. After seeing you go through all of that, they've got to be like, I can do anything if he could do that.
Let me tell you something. They say prison is a punishment. You send there to be punished, but do not punish yourself. Take it as a stepping stone to better yourself to come. As a support worker and a counselor, I'm working with. Let me tell you this part. You see, when I work with mental health and I work on forensic wards, when I go on the wards, you know what people say to me? The mental person, they come to me, they say, "From I see you, I know that you come to save us." Oh my God, how can somebody who's got mental health just see you and say that?
Oh, you're sincere.
So I knew, as I said, since I've been in Cuba and that bulb blow, I knew that was my calling to don't be bitter. Only when we take things personal, it affects us. If we take, okay, if this was meant to happen, let's see the positive out of it. Only you alone can change the positive. Now, if I can mentor someone to change, give them advice and tell them a story, but it's for them to change. Now, if they don't change, I'm not going to go to my bed and feel guilty and say, boy, I tried my best, but it didn't change. That's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm doing my best. I'm not gonna cry for you. I'm not gonna tell you and I'm begging you. I'm gonna use the words. And when you use the words, it's how you say the words.
So
you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm usually a talker, but at a loss for words, because I feel like, this is a true example of what God said when he says, something about, trying times, not being positive, being grateful. Don't be surprised that this test has come to try you, because the end of it is going to bring you something good. I'm just rewording that scripture because I'm not remembering it. But you're literally living that. Like, sometimes we read the Bible. For those who read the Bible, some I do recognize may not identify as what I identify or what you identify with. But you actually lived it. Like here, some people would have killed themselves in solitary confinement. People would have just been, after 6 months, I can't do this anymore, I want to die. Like,
I'm Shadrach, what they throw in the fire, and I just laugh.
Oh my gosh.
You fear dying. Anything that you fear, you're going to die from the same fear. You must learn to live. You must learn to accept. I cannot pay my bill today. You know what? I'm just going to phone the bank and tell them that, well, I can't pay my bill today, so you know what? You have to wait until I can.
I love your attitude. I love it.
So you did the best part. Right. Not sit down and worry about it. Because the bank don't care if you worry, and if he don't want you to die because he wants you to pay. So all you gotta do is phone him and tell him, say, well, you know what, you send a bill to me, but I can't pay it, so you gotta wait till I deal with that.
I love your attitude. I love it. We're worrying about things and fretting over things. Oh man. God is talking through you. God is talking. God, you know what I love? I love, this is what I love. Okay. You have some, and I'm not knocking anybody who does identify as believers in God. take this as an example of what your attitude should be in the midst of your suffering, because,
Well, listen, even if you believe in God or you're a non-believer, it doesn't matter to me, because I'm not going to tell you, say, believe in a God and I'll tell you all the Bible script and make you one in there. No, I'm going to accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, be strong.
Yeah.
Faith.
Yes.
So even if you don't believe in God, I'm not going to knock you for that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I agree with you.
I'm going to tell you, say, boy, even if you don't believe in God, but believe in yourself that you can do things, and you must find the ways of doing things. Now, I went to this guy, and they said that this guy was on drugs, and they said he doesn't work with nobody, he don't want to work with no support worker. I said, boss, let me go and see him. He said, but we try everything. I said, you haven't. They said, what we haven't tried? I said, you haven't tried me going and seeing him. They said, okay, and they laughed, and I went. And when I went to the guy, I said, they said, Rem's your new support worker. And the guy said, well, I'm not working with no one. I said, why don't you want to work with me? He said, well, I've been homeless. Have you been homeless? I said, yeah. He said, well, I smoke drugs. I said, yeah, so what kind of drug is one? He said, crack. I said, so he asked me, do you smoke? And I said, yeah, but it's not about me, it's about you. He liked right away.
Oh my goodness, okay, somebody's calling while you're speaking, they're gonna have to wait, you're gonna have to wait. So anyway, repeat that. So yes, so he asks you, so he's basically saying, I don't want somebody to tell me something that doesn't understand my story, right?
Yeah. But he said he smoked crack, and I said okay, and he asked me if I smoke too, and I said yeah, I do smoke, but it's not about me, it's about you. I come to help you. He said I like Rem, so we got something same in common, so I'm gonna work with Rem. So when we sat down and talked, we walked away. So the guy, my staff, said, Rem, I never know that you smoke crack. I said, I didn't say I smoke crack. I said, yeah, but he asked you if you smoke. I said, yeah, he did ask me if I smoke. I said, yes, but he didn't ask me what. You get what I'm saying? So you learn the words of how to say.
How to relate to people.
So remember, he said he smoked crack. He asked me if I smoke, and I said, yeah, but he didn't ask me what I smoke. So before he asked me what I smoke, I said, but it's not about me, it's about you, and I come here to help you. So you learn how to use your words. Now, if people listen and listen keenly, they will learn a lot of things that they never know. And learn. Now, some people listen to respond. Want them to answer, not listen to observe and to be understood when they talk, but it's listen to respond. So it's not how you. It's not how it's not how you respond. It's how you react. How you gonna respond to? You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
A lot.
That is powerful.
And driving ambulance, I see guys going home at 25 and they're going home to die, and they think that he's going home to just spend time with his mother. And when I went for him, me and my colleague went for him to put him in the ambulance, he was going home to die, and he's 25. He had this rare cancer. He thought that he was just going home to spend time with his family, and only his family knew that he was going to die. Now, when you look at things like that, you you have a lot of things to be grateful for, and you're whining because you can't pay a bill. Because the relationship mashed up the other day.
Oh God!
You don't lose nothing. There's nothing in life you don't lose. The only thing you do is win, and people don't understand that. You win. You don't win, you learn. What have you lose? lose 5 years out of my relationship. No, you learn something. You learn that you and him wasn't compatible. You learn that he was the loser, or you learn that you did something wrong. So you win. You don't lose something. You lose maybe time, but time goes on and on and on. Time doesn't wait for nobody, and time doesn't whine. So why you whining and whining about? There's more time there. Don't worry about when you're getting old. Do you know your expiry date? People are dying when they're young. People are dying in the middle age. And you're worrying as I'll lose 10 years on a relationship. Come on, man. Never lose nothing. Learn from that. Now learn from it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, I want to ask another question, Rem, is how do you keep that mindset, specifically when you're in that confinement? Because some people are not mentally strong that way. Some people just don't know how to get their mind focused. I mean, you're talking about being in a cell, first of all. Someone who's claustrophobic, not being in the sunlight, not breathing fresh air. What were some of the things you did in those 2 years to keep yourself happy so that you didn't mentally break?
You write mute. You never write on the wall about building a calendar. One thing, as you guys write on the wall building a calendar or counting down the days, do you know your day? You don't know your day. Live for the day. And you take one day at a time. Second thing, when you shut your eye, you know how much lazy you can go? If I shut my eye now and want to be right in your office, I can shut my eye and imagine me being in your office. It's only when I open my eyes I see everything that I'm not in your office. And I have to face the reality. When you close your eyes, you go anywhere you want to go in this world, man. So when I sleep, remember I'm sleeping by myself. So when I sleep and I shut my eyes, I'm in England, I'm in America, I'm everywhere. When I open my eyes, I face the reality. I write songs. When I learn Spanish, I'm learning some. When I smile, I put something on my Facebook the other day, and you know what I did? I found it on YouTube. And listen to this. And I said, let me put it on my Facebook so people can really understand what it's like. There was a monk. He used to hold prayer meeting, and everybody used to come to him, and he makes them up, and he tells them all the wonderful words. And a beggar came to him and said, monk, said, Buddha, how you make everybody happy, but look at me. I am a beggar. How I am not happy, how I'm not rich in blessings. The man said, you are. The man said, but I am a beggar. All I do is beg. He said, can't you make people happy? He said, no, because I'm a beggar. He said, you have the words in your mouth. You have the smile on your face. You have the touch. That's it. So you see, some simple things that you got and you're not grateful for. We came in this world with nothing, and if we go with nothing, make sure that we go leaving thoughts and good wills and good advice for making people happy, man.
Oh my gosh, that's
even
so powerful.
With nothing.
Wow. So in other words, that proverb, the man calls himself a beggar. He keeps saying it over and over again. His identity is a beggar, and the monk is saying it's because you keep saying you're a beggar. You're more than that.
And you're more than that. And he don't use what he's got. He's got his smile. He's got thank you. Some people you give, they don't even say thank you. Don't you know that is manners is when you give somebody something and they say thank you very much. How you feel when somebody can say at least he said thanks?
Thank you, exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
But if you don't, if the same person that's saying thank you don't appreciate that and see that as a blessing too, you know, and you overlook that, you're not looking at the real thing in life. Life is simplicity. Live it so easy and so simple. Sometimes you argue. It's better if you keep silence and not saying nothing. But when you argue, you know, me and my woman used to argue, and I used to walk out, and I've learned that if I stay, maybe I understand what she's getting mad about. Stay. Once you start saying, she said, but I don't like when you leave the toilet seat open. I don't like when you wash up your plate and you leave it there. So you listen. When you listen, all you got to do is hug her up now and say, babes, I never know that was the problem. But if you continue walking out, you would never know. When you come back, it's the same argument, and you do the same thing. Listen. Make the world a better place, be.
My goodness.
People have learned to understand.
Wow.
People have learned to understand that life is for living and it's breathe in and breathe out. And don't take things personal, because when you take it personal, it upsets you. People talk about the relationship. Oh, and he do this to me and he do that. And they talk about it over and over. And when they find a good man, they dump it on him same way.
Oh gosh, they can't move on. Oh my goodness, that's a whole other topic. It's a whole number. You know what? I just have this feeling I need to be doing a diaries with Rem, because you've got so much wisdom, Rem, that it's gonna take like an entire show to be able to talk to you. It's going to take another show. I got to tell you, so I'm 5 minutes before I get into the TOG network, and, and there's a few other people that want to share on this topic, but I will welcome you next week. We have the beautiful Carmela Green. I'm going to be interviewing her, and I hope you can lock in and listen to that. But I'm going to be dedicating at least 2 shows a month to topics like this, and I would love for you to chime in, for the folks in the UK to chime in. You have tremendously blessed me with this. You have no idea. I feel convicted. I feel like God himself is speaking through you to me, and to thousands of people. Regarding our attitude and our mindset, and I think that this I'm gonna write in my diary. I'm gonna send you this recording that today has been a life changer for me, man. And how God chooses and uses people. You're a general. Lord Jesus, this man is a general for God. I want to thank you so much for not giving up. I want to thank you so much for your attitude. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to call me, or for me to reconnect with you from the UK, 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday. And I'm looking forward to continuing this discussion with you. I think the next show I want to call you to talk to you about is that relationship thing from a man's perspective, because you're getting into some things that we need to talk about.
Well, my relationship, I've been stabbed at, I'm shot at. Oh my God, that's another one.
I think the next show I want to call you to talk to you about is that relationship thing from a man's perspective, because you're getting into some things that we need to talk about.
Well, my relationship, I've been stabbed at, I'm shot at. Oh my God, that's another one in there.
Listen, give me 2 weeks and we're gonna do a show with Ram. I want to have a conversations with Ram from the UK. I'm even gonna put a flyer out there, and we're gonna have that in October. I want to have a couple weeks with Ram, because you got some wisdom, man, that the whole entire world needs to know. So give me like October. Let me know how many weeks you would like, but I'm thinking conversations with Rem from the UK is necessary. You good with that?
I'm good.
You're good with that. All right, bro. So I gotta say bless you, because I'm gonna be on the TOG network in 2 minutes. It's still stay locked in. We're gonna be playing some good gospel vibes and stuff, and we're gonna continue this discussion.
I'm good, I'm good,
You're good
I'm
with
good,
that.
I'm good.
All right, bro. So I gotta say bless you because I'm gonna be on the TOG network in 2 minutes. It's still stay locked in. We're gonna be playing some good gospel vibes and stuff. We're gonna continue this discussion with a few more people. There's about 2 or 3 people that have been holding and waiting to share what they're doing in negative times. Yes, but thank you so much. This has changed my life. I'm not exaggerating. It really has changed my perspective. I know it has for people that are listening. Want to thank you so much, Rem from the UK, from Reggae Link Up. Check him out. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your story. Really greatly from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate it.
No problem, no problem.
Blessings to
it
you.
made me cry, man, but it is always an upliftment for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Blessings to you, bro. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. We'll talk soon. All right, then. You heard from Rem. My goodness, that was I don't even know what to say. I just don't know what to say. That was so profound and powerful that I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of lost for words. Kind of lost for words. Wow, what an incredible story and testimonial. In 25 seconds, we're starting on the TOG network, and we're going to continue this conversation because there are a few of you who want to share. 2 hours went by so fast. I'm so glad that I listened to my spirit and I listened to what I felt. I thought, you know what? I don't want to be doing interviews. I want to spend some time to really connect with the listeners. So for those of you who are locked into the Black Rose of Durham radio show, thank you so much. And as we speak right now, it is 6 o'clock. We are logged into the TOG network in New York. And it is my pleasure. It is Cora Reed on the Black Rose of Durham radio show, coming to you live at 6 p.m. on the 22nd of September. I'm so happy to join you today. Now, today, we have an amazing topic. We just had Rem from the UK call in. I'm at a literal loss for words. Don't really know what to say. You know, I wasn't expecting to hear such a powerful testimonial of how he overcame falsely accused, arrested because of the fact that he, bad company, you know, went to Cuba. For those of you in the TOG family that are locked in, I'm just going to give you a synopsis, and I'm going to be uploading this show, so please check out Mixcloud, September 22nd show. But Rem from the UK just called. We spent about, I'd say, about 30 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes talking about his story. So I'm just going to continue the topic. And the topic today is, how are you staying positive in the tough times? And we do have some folks that are still locked in on the Black Rose of Durham radio show, and now we have another group of people now logging in from the TOG Networks 105.3 FM to New York. I want to send a shout out to Neville and Dr. Morgan. I'm so pleased to be on this network. So the conversation we are having today is, and I still have about 2 other people that want to comment on this subject. The question is, how are you staying positive in tough times? We had Maureen McFarlane, who really spoke to us about what she's doing. And then we had Rem Marley from the UK, my goodness, who talked about, and he needs to write a book, how he went to Cuba to hang out with some friends, and not knowing that the friends were into some bad things, ended up getting busted, jailed, went to jail in Cuba, was in solitary confinement in a cell that was the size of like a coffin, maybe, I don't know. No sunlight, no food, a piece of dry bread. The guards would sometimes put flies and things in the water. They would give him sugar water. And his story is how he endured 2 years of seeing no sunlight, no friends, no family. His mind stable, had the mental strength to endure that. And when the Cuban guards recognize that, you know what, you're not from Cuba, you're from the UK, send him to a jail where there's people from the U.S. and others that are arrested in Cuba. Now remember that Cuba is a, it's funny how Maureen we were talking about this, about being in a communist country. He talked about how they sent him to this other jail to run the jail because of the fact that they were fighting so much, and how I'd literally used him to help and organize that jail. By the time he gets to UK, they jail him again, but then after they release him, because of all the work he's done, he's paid $28,000 the UK government to now do what? To go and mentor other people in jail because of the success that he had. Can you believe that? His attitude was that of thanksgiving and positivity, not feeling bitter. And he said that the person who put him in jail, he was being released, when he went to shake the person who persecuted him and put him there, he went to shake his hand, how the person broke down and cried. Now, this is, and I got to share that this is not a Christian testimonial. This is somebody who identifies with God, but, you know, my show, we invite all people from all different walks of life to share, because I feel like that's how you learn. And I loved what Rem said, you know, whether you believe in God or don't believe in God, I'm going to tell you that you're special, and I'm going to tell you that you're of worth, and really how powerful the mind is. The mind can take you places. If you decide you're not going to give up in your mind, you can do anything. That for me, it was so profound and so powerful. So I've decided that for the next 2 hours, I'm going to continue the discussion. We have some people from Canada. I have a couple people who want to make comments on this subject. It is a hot topic. The subject is, what do you do in to stay positive in difficult times? What are you doing to stay positive in difficult times? Man, we just heard some powerful stories about people overcoming in some serious adverse circumstances. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, I do have a network. I'm broadcasting right now from Canada, Ontario, Durham, a little town called Bowmanville. And so I have an audience that listens to me worldwide, and Rem Marley is one of many who are supporters of this network. And so we're continuing the discussion now on the TOG network, 105.3. What are you doing in tough times? How do you remain positive in extremely adverse, dark? How do you remain positive? That's the question, and I have about a few people who want to make comments, and number that you're going to call me now, because of the fact that we have so many people who want to speak, and I don't have a system that accommodates 5 and 6 and 7 people calling at the same time. So if you call and you're not able to get through, I will do my best to return the call, and I will do that by WhatsApp. Okay. But the number that you want to call is 1-289-432-1101. It's 1-289-432-1101. My name is Cora Reed. I'm the host of the Black Rose of Durham Radio, and I'm still continuing the Black Rose of Durham Radio show from Canada. You can always check me out on www.theblackroseofdurhamradio.com. In the meantime, I'm going to play a few songs.
The best part about the holidays? Not the jazzy tunes or endless leftovers, but the holiday scratchers, especially Holiday Windfall, where you can win up to $500,000. But you said sledding. Okay, play along with Holiday Scratchers from the Virginia Lottery at a retailer near you. For odds and more information, visit VALottery.com.
Heat pack or ice pack?
Ice pack.
Bath or shower?
Bath.
Treat or prevent?
Both. Nurtec ODT Rimegepant 75 milligrams is the first and only medication proven to treat and prevent migraines in adults. The choice is yours. Don't take if you're allergic to Nurtec ODT. The most common side effects were nausea, stomach pain, and indigestion. For important safety, prescribing, and patient information, visit NURTEC.com. Talk to your doctor about Nurtec ODT.
Wrap up the savings now during the JCPenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Wednesday, make everyone's spirit bright with an extra 30% off coupon. Pack more for less with the Protocol Simmons 5-piece luggage set, now $109.99. Plus, get glam and save up to 60% on diamond solitaires and studs. These savings are yours when you use your 30% off coupon. Joy, comfort, peace. JCPenney. Offers valid on select items through 12/8. Offers reflect after coupon savings. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes twice a day, making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
No one